Hello everybody and welcome to Carl & Cymru Revision Sessions. The session this evening will focus on Business Studies GCSE and will be presented by Alison Lacey from Harden High School. This session will last around 45 minutes where Alison will run through the relevant content. If you have any questions during the sessions, please use the question and answer section and we'll do our best to answer your questions. You'll see that there's a hyperlink in the Q&A session. If you're happy to leave your name and email address, we would love to keep in touch with you so that you can send your information about future events. You can click on the link at any time during the session. Today's session will be recorded and the recording of any relevant resources will be uploaded to the e-sgol website under the Carl & Cymru tab. Thank you, Alison, and over to you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so this session is going to be mainly concentrating on sort of Unit 2 preparation and looking at Unit 2. So first of all, let's have a look at actually what Unit 2 is. So Unit 2, it's an hour and 30-minute paper. So it's based on 2 case studies. So 45 minutes per case study, 10 minutes reading each case study, and then 35 minutes for each case study question. So that's kind of what's recommended by the exam board of how to break up the case studies. It's really important in this unit to make sure you keep on top of your timing. Make sure obviously after the 45 minutes you are going on to the second case study in order to try and make sure that you're getting all questions done in time. So kind of things to do really with this paper is to read the first case study really carefully, highlight any things that you feel are going to be important, answer the questions about that case study. You're spending 45 minutes on that case study, so again, keep an eye on the time. Then you look at reading the second case study, answer the questions about that case study. Things to think about and make sure that you are highlighting any information on the resource sheet you feel you might need. I would say make sure that you don't read both case studies together. So make sure you read the first one, you highlight anything that you feel is important in the first one, and then you answer the questions on that case study. Add as much information from the case study as possible into your answers. So even if you can like try and get bits of information in, try and shoehorn it in wherever you can, because this is all about that business. So try and make sure you don't at any point answer generally about just general businesses. All questions must be answered about the case study and not in general, as I just kind of just said really. So we're going to have a look at the 2019 paper and have a look through what you were asked to do with that. This is available online for the WJEC website. You should see that there is a resource sheet to read through, and then you've got the paper. You've also got the mark scheme there as well. So I'm just kind of going to run through some good example questions and sort of answers, just to kind of give you an idea of how to kind of answer the questions. Okay, so the first case study is about a jeans business, so Hewitt, I think it is, or I think it's Hewitt jeans. So we'll just kind of go through this. So this is kind of jeans, a very popular item of fashion that appeals to many people around the world. In the UK, women spend around more money on jeans than men. And in 2017, they spent 129 million on jeans and women spent 38% more. Research carried out in 2016 collected the following data about the denim and jeans market. And that's some information there. Again, you might want to use that during the course of your case study. In 2017, 3.2 billion pairs of jeans were sold around the world for a total sales revenue value of 72 billion. This means the average pair of jeans was sold for £22.50 in 2017. For a number of mass market brands that are market leaders, such as Levi, Pepe and Diesel, the majority of best-selling jean producers are based in the United States. Below is a graph showing the most popular jeans brands in the UK in 2016. So you've got these here, you've got Next, Primark, M&S, Levi, H&M, Gap, Diesel, things like that. So I think it's spelled Hyatt maybe, Hyatt Denim Company. So these are based in Wales, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So mass market brands, there are some small producers of jeans such as Hyatt Denim Company, a Welsh business selling its jeans for up to £230 per pair. Hyatt Denim employs 15 people and produces 100 pairs of jeans per week. So this is quite an important bit of information here, because that's quite a big figure compared to £22.50. So knowing why they're charging that much is going to be important. They only make 100 pairs of jeans per week, so that's quite not very many at all. Hyatt will repair jeans for life. So this is a good USP for free and an effective USP in a very competitive market. The quality of its products is essential, and Hyatt, in the order to continue to be successful and not be overrun with repairs. So it's really important that they produce quality goods. Hyatt only produces jeans. That slogan of do one thing well supports this approach to business and uses organic hard-wearing materials to increase the lifespan of jeans, differentiate itself from its more famous competitors. So this is going to be a really important bit that you can sort of add into the questions a little bit later. So this is a bit of an advertisement. So we make jeans. That's it, nothing else, no distractions, nothing to steal our focus, no kidding ourselves that we're good at everything else, no trying to conquer the whole world, we just do our best to conquer it, our bit of it. So each day we come and make the best jeans we know how, use the best quality denims, cut them with the expert eye, and then our grandmasters behind the sewing machines to do the rest. There is a great deal of satisfaction to be gained from making something well of such a superior quality that you know it's going to stand out test time. So it kind of goes through some points there. Okay, so again it goes through the fact they're based in Cardigan, West Wales. It's using multi-channel distribution approach. Again, this will be important, selling through its website and also retailers. It also sells products abroad, and 25% of the sales exported through the website, and 2 retailers in Germany and 1 in Australia. Okay, so that's again might be important information a little bit later on. Hewitt have no retail shops of its own, so it doesn't have anything expense wise that he needs to sort of rent out any shops. Products ordered through Hyatt, I think it's Hyatt website, are available in a wide range of sizes. The master manufacturers such as Levi and Diesel, and includes detailed measuring guides to help people choose the best jean size. Now this is going to be important about the social media. So it has social media accounts on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. It never uses mass media like TV or radio advertising to promote its products. It has relied on positive customer feedback, reviews, and the occasional online voucher code to boost sales. Hyatt has also benefit from its products being worn and endorsed by various celebrities such as Meghan Markle in the Arctic Monkeys, but has never paid individuals to promote its jeans. Okay, so you've got those things there. Right, okay, so first off, we're looking at calculate the total sales values of women's jeans in the UK in 2017. So this is purely from the case study. So you would go back, if I can go back to the figures that you kind of need there, is this here. Okay, so in 2017, men spent 129 million on jeans and women spent 38% more. So what you've got to do there, if I come back down to the question, is you've got to find out what 38% of 129 million is. Now there's a couple of ways of doing it. You could do it that way or that way. How I would do it is I work out percentages like this, and this again, people have different ways of doing it, but I take 129 million and I times it by 0.38. So I turn my percentage into a decimal, 0.38, which gives you that figure there. So that's what 38%, so it's 49 million and the 20,000 there. Then what you would do is you'd take your 129 million, you'd add your 49,000, and that would give you that figure there. Okay, now this is giving you sort of 2 marks. Ideally what you want to be doing is making sure you've got your method along with the answer, okay, to kind of get mainly 2 marks. Second question about this one is state what is meant by the term USP. So you could either have said, you know, it's a unique selling point, this would think was worth 1 mark, unique selling point, or something that makes a product or service different from another competitor would also have been accepted with that one. Question C is describe how Hyatt, I think, can make sure its products produces high quality genes. So this is where you need to be looking back at you know, what they are saying about their genes and kind of how you can make sure that they are producing high quality. The marking system with this is a 6-mark question. So you're getting 3 marks for your knowledge and understanding, which is this one here, which is your AO1, and 3 marks for your context. Okay, so this is really kind of looking at your case study and trying to bring out as much as you can from that case study into your answer. Now, what I've tried to do is break this down into your knowledge and understanding and then what your context is. So one of the ways Hyatt can make high quality genes is to make sure that the use of high quality material that will last. Okay, so that's my knowledge and understanding. I've tailored it to the fact it's a gene company. They're using material and making sure I'm really kind of you know, bringing that in. The quality of its products is essential for Hyatt in order to continue to be successful and not overrun with repairs. So I've purely taken what has been said in the case study and put it into my answer. It uses organic hardware and materials to increase the lifespan of its genes. So again, I'm taking out what I've seen in the case study and putting it into my answer. Okay, so trying to do that is going to be really important to try and get these context marks, which is your AO2. Another way that Hyatt can make sure that they produce high quality genes is by making sure that they train their staff to check the quality of the work and to ensure that they are creating good quality items. Okay, and again, looking at taking bits out of the case study so that Hyatt repair genes for life for free and effective USP is in a very competitive market. The quality of its products is essential for Hyatt in order to continue to be successful, and again, not to be overrun with repairs. So again, I've taken that bit out to add those contexts. Finally, here it could ensure good quality products by acting on customer feedback. The company rely on social media to advertise their products, and they do not use mass media. They also rely on positive reviews. By acting on customer feedback, this will make sure any problems are rectified. So again, I'm taking what has been said in the case study, and that's what's really important with your unit 2, that you keep doing that throughout your questions. Okay, so the next question there, and again, is 6 marks. Says evaluate how Hyatt can benefit from selling its genes using multi-channel distribution. So with this one, it is 3 marks for your knowledge and understanding and 3 marks for your evaluation and analysis. Because it's an evaluation question, you generally will find, especially if it's a 6-mark question, that evaluation analysis AO3 will mark quite highly with that. So the way in which I've answered that is I've kind of looked at how multi-chain distribution can benefit. So one way that Hyatt can benefit is that they could offer different prices through different channels. For example, the internet price could be cheaper than in-store price. This is possible as stock sold online does not have to be sent to stores and can be distributed centrally from the factory. This will reduce storage and transport costs. Okay, so I'm kind of expanding on that. Another way they can benefit is that Hyatt could offer an even wide choice of goods and provide more information to the customer. This should increase customer satisfaction and customer loyalty, whilst also appealing to a wider range of customers. And then also the fact that, you know, with multi-channel distribution, you are available 24 hours a day. If you're selling online, you know, someone can come in at 3 o'clock in the morning and order a pair of jeans if they fancy it. You're open all year round. You are making sure that you're getting sales at any possible situation. So that's going to be a good thing as well with that. Okay, so question E was describe one possible reason why Hyatt can charge higher prices for its genes. So Hyatt can charge higher prices for its genes because the lifespan of the genes is more than its competitors. They say they will repair the genes for life. The customers would be willing to pay more for a product if they knew it was going to last longer because it would be more value for the money. Okay, so again, I'm expanding on that. I think this was worth 2 marks, I think, for this one. And it's just making sure that you're expanding on that point you're making. Another one is describe one possible reason why Hyatt can charge higher prices for its jeans. The products are trusted by consumers. Products usually have a high premium price, therefore increases profit margin. Okay, and again, so you're expanding on that. So the last question is a 10-mark question with that. Okay, and with the 10-mark question, you've got, again, advantages, context, however, disadvantage, trying to get each paragraph to have those 3 things in it to get all these 3 marks. You've got an AO1, which is your 3 marks, you've got your AO2, which is 3 marks, and you've got your AO4, which is your 4 marks, and try and make sure that every paragraph has these 3 points. You'll notice that this paragraph has got a blue sort of thing around it. That's because it's all adding to your AO3. So how you're writing it is adding to that AO3 mark. Now for a 10-mark question, I would say you should be writing about 3 paragraphs of this size to try and make sure you're going to get as many marks as possible, so 10 marks. If it was a 12-mark question, I'd probably say sort of 4 paragraphs to make sure you're kind of getting that information in there. But anything you write needs to be relatable to the case study. So there's no point putting something that obviously wouldn't be relevant to the business that you're talking about. So I've just given you an example of how one of these paragraphs could be constructed, just to give you an idea and kind of not to kind of give you a load of writing to look at. So I've gone through that. One of the opportunities that it could has when selling abroad is a large customer base. Okay, so while there is potential for more sales of jeans in the UK, this is limited to a certain amount. Therefore, selling their products in more countries offers better prospect with more customers and a wide market available that is purchasing vast amounts of jeans, particularly in North America. So again, taking bits from the case study. For Hyatt, they have the opportunity to earn increased turnover, which may lead to increased profits. However, Hyatt would need the infrastructures to be able to cope with more orders. Currently, they only make 100 jeans a week, and again, I'm taking this from the case study. If they start selling jeans to more countries, spelling error there, may cause a problem if they cannot keep up with the orders. Okay, so that again, you're analysing it, you're saying what the advantage is, but then you're flipping it around and saying, well, yeah, but however, there is a problem with this. This is the problem. So you're analysing those. So opportunities, basically, you know, advantages, and threats, your disadvantages. So it's just another way of saying advantages and disadvantages there. Okay, so you are looking, or should be looking at writing about 3 paragraphs for that. Okay, so that's the end of that case study. So really that should have taken you 45 minutes to write that. Certainly with the last questions, so the longer questions, I would even, you know, make a little plan before you write it. Now there are lots of opportunities and there are lots of threats to selling abroad. So my advice would be, if you can try and find 3 advantages, 3 disadvantages that you know would basically, for any business selling abroad, that would suit, kind of fit with them, and memorize those, that would really put you in a good position to write a good 10-mark answer. The next case study is to do with Bros Carpentry. Okay, so this is a partnership with 2 brothers, Gareth and Rhys Lloyd, in Bala, North Wales. They grew up in Bala, decided to set up a business when they come fully qualified carpenters, following apprenticeships with local businesses. So Bros Carpentry have been established for 10 years, and the brothers' knowledge of the local market has helped them create a profitable business. And the brothers are the only employees of the business and complete all the work themselves. Okay, so again, that might be important a bit later on. The business has built up a very good reputation as 5 stars at Trust Trader, which allows customers to rate the work of the local traders. Customers can use this website to see reviews before they contact the business to carry out work for them, and Bros Carpentry realise that the reviews are important as in competition with the businesses. The graph below shows the market share for Bros Carpentry in this. Okay, so this is like the market share, so you might have to be finding out what that is basically. Brose Carpentry specialised in the kitchen fitting, making staircases and household furniture such as wardrobes, dining tables and bookcases. Brose Carpentry just uses job production and its products. The business has also used just-in-time stock control method, which others believe to be the most suitable option for them. Brose Carpentry currently rents a workshop in Bala for the production of its products before they are transported to customers' houses for the installation of the finished goods. The workshop in Bala costs £600 per month to rent. Brose Carpentry has looked at expanding the business and has decided to rent a second workshop in nearby Dolgellau, 20 miles away, for £400 a month. Okay, so again, this might be important of where they're going to be opening the second workshop in Dolgellau, and you know, the rent would be important as well, because obviously that's going to potentially eat into profit, along with any kind of utility bills that might come along with that. It believes that this is an important step in expanding the business. The brothers consider locating in other areas of North Wales, but believe that Dolgellau was the best choice for their business. Okay, so this is the map, so this kind of shows you where Bala is and where Dolgellau is in comparison, and kind of gives you an idea like the different populations around. The first time since the business was started, the brothers will work in different workshops to check the financial impact that the extra cost of renting the workshop in Dolgellau would have on the business. Brose Carpentry has produced a cash flow forecast to help plan for the next 6 months. Okay, so this is kind of your cash flow to find out, you know, what turnover is, what the rent, the wages are, how much they've kind of got at the end of the month, etc. Okay, so the first question was using the data in the graph, calculate Brose Carpentry's market share of the carpentry business in Bala. So that was pretty straightforward, really. So all you needed to do was add these three up and then take whatever was left, take that away from 100, and that would give you what percentage was the market share, which was 28%. Explain one advantage and one disadvantage to Brose Carpentry's customer of having products made using job production. So one advantage of job production is that the products are specific to the customer's requirements. The product is able to meet the needs of the customer and offer the customer the best solution. One disadvantage of job production are usually more expensive than mass. Highly skilled labourers means that wages costs are higher. Okay, so that's kind of how you might explain that. So job production, as you hopefully know, is that somebody makes something specific for the you know, whatever the customer's wanting. So whether it's a specific size shed, whether it's a specific kitchen, whatever it might be, it's not going to come flat packed, basically. The third question on that case study is explain why Brose Carpentry may prefer just-in-time stock control as its method. Okay, so just-in-time stock control is when stock is delivered when you need it, and so you're not holding lots of stock. It kind of comes when you need it, therefore you don't need as much storage space for it. So kind of things that you would kind of be looking at there, so like using job production, Brose Carpentry are likely to make one product at a time. This means they will order small amounts, therefore this will save on storage costs. Brose Carpentry can order specific raw materials and stock comes straight from suppliers, therefore less likely to be damaged and used. So using these words like therefore to expand on your points. With Brose Carpentry ordering less stock, then they will have lower costs when stock is ordered, therefore less cash tied up in stock. And raw materials might be needed at short notice if there was an unforeseeable problem. Therefore, businesses using job production would need suppliers who can meet this need. Okay, so looking at the next question there with that, okay, is that analyse the potential impact on two key stakeholders of Brose Carpentry's decision to rent a second workshop. So this is a 6-mark question broken up into 2-mark sections of AO1, which again is your knowledge and understanding, your AO2, which is context of your business, and your AO3, which is 2 marks of your evaluation analysis. As I've done before, I've highlighted the whole way in which it's been written is evaluation and analysis. And I've tried to pinpoint, what is knowledge and understanding and what is context of the business as well, in the colours. Okay, so one of the key stakeholders, Bros Carpentry, is the owners themselves. So there's lots of different stakeholders. So stakeholders are anyone that is affected or can be affected by a business. So it can be things like the owners, the employees, the now we couldn't really do the employees on this one because the fact that the employees are them, the owners, because they don't employ anybody else, it's just them. So that wouldn't fit this case study. Government could have been one, local community could have been one. So anybody that's affected by the business could be put as the stakeholders. The two that I've chosen are the owners, and I've chosen local competitors. So what I've said with the owners is that the up a second workshop, although that is closer to customers, this would mean that there will be more revenue, therefore would lead to bigger profit. However, a disadvantage of there's opening a second workshop, therefore any profit they may get from customers might be taken up by extra rent and utility bills that they would need to pay. Okay, so that is kind of like a disadvantage to that advantage. Another key stakeholder of the business would be local competitors. An advantage of the brothers opening up the second workshop might be that gain immediate sales as they have a good reputation in the local area. This may reduce sales for local businesses that already exist in Dolgellau. However, they might have to increase their promotion budget to make sure that customers know that they have opened up another workshop. Therefore, this again would eat into their profits. Okay, so you've got those there. And then I think this might be the last one, which is your last question, which is worth 12. Now, with a 12-mark question, I would suggest that the best route forward with that is that you would be looking at creating 4 paragraphs. Now, if you've got, if we think about, if it was an advised question, you would need to obviously put a conclusion in there as well, which might actually take up some of the marks as well. But certainly, I would say if you can try and write 4 paragraphs in this similar style of using advantages, disadvantages, however, using those keywords therefore to kind of sort of push this up. So Bros Carpentry would promote the business more to further improve their cash flow position. They could promote the business by using posters, leaflets, advertising on local radio or in local newspapers near Dolgellau to make more people aware of the business. They could also offer sales promotions such as discounts or competitions. This may encourage people to use the business rather than competitors. However, promotion costs money and they are spending money on advertising already. Whether they are upfront costs such as through advertising or by reducing the amount of sales revenue by lowering the price, this could be negative impact on cash flow unless sales increase considerably. So if we look at the cash flow that kind of came up, so here you can actually look at what they're spending on what. So like here, for example, they're already spending on advertising. So, £500 a month. So they could increase that budget, but again, they are kind of already eating into profits using that advertising money. And whether or not they would be able to reap that back is another question. Okay, so that's I've kind of gone through both case studies there. I tried to do a whistle-stop tour as much as possible with that. So we have finished a little bit early because really only got one case study from the 2019 really to go off. The 2022 paper only had one case study, which I mean, some staff might be keeping that back for mocks and things like that, and they don't want you to maybe see that at some point. But there's only one case study really from 2022. So overall, we've only probably got 3 case studies. There was a Marriott hotel one, I think, when the 2021 paper came out that your staff might be going through with you as well. So that is another case study that you might have seen, and kind of with that one you might be looking at on the job and off the job training and things like that. But really what you need to just make sure that you're doing, if I can kind of go back to one of the PowerPoints here, is making sure that you are adding this context in, you know, just trying to get as much from the case study and putting it into your answer wherever you can, because most of your questions, especially your 6-mark questions or your 8-mark questions or your 10-mark questions, they're all going to have potentially this context AO2 you're going to be marked on, and if you're doing it generally you're not going to get the marks for that. And then also with the longer answer questions, so like your 8, your 8, 10 and 12-mark questions tend to be in this sort of format that you're going to get marks for your knowledge and understanding, marks for your context, and marks for your evaluation analysis, and trying to make sure that you're putting in every paragraph. So don't do like, oh, the advantages of this is this, the disadvantages is this, because you're not really evaluating there. You're kind of not really kind of comparing, you're not really evaluating or analysing. But by putting it in this way and actually, you know, saying an advantage, making sure you're getting some context in there, but also saying, however, there is a flip side to this, that's going to be important. Okay, so it has finished a little bit early, but I tried to get through as much as I possibly could in that session. So if I can just kind of do that, and we have to just finish early on that one. Just going to, and good luck. Hope everything goes okay.
Thank you very much, Alison. I hope everyone found this session useful, and yeah, that's our final session, I think. So thank you very much and goodbye.